Hello and welcome to my live. I'm Meenal Gavlani, self-love coach and NLP practitioner. I'm waiting for my guest, Miss Swati Arora, and we are going to talk today about the leadership lessons for the women. So I hope you're going to enjoy this live. It will be an amazing session, amazing live. Hi, Monica. Hello, Fatima. So let's see those who are joining in, and then we would be. I hope I'm visible. Yeah. And hi. So Swati is here, and I'm going to take her. Swati, please send the request so that I can take you in. So, Miss Swati Arora. She's a women career growth coach, NLP practitioner, emotional intelligent coach. Hello, Swati. Let me complete your introduction. She's training specialist for over 20 years, YouTuber, podcaster, and content creator. So amazing to have you here on my platform, Swati. And let's welcome people right now. They are just so welcome, Monica, Fatima, ADV, Neha, Nikita, Ramesh, Jaswinder, Chetna Gupta. Welcome all on the live, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this live. You're going to learn, and you will develop your leadership skill, because leadership is a skill which you can learn and grow yourself. So without wasting the time, Swati, I have already introduced you, but if you have something to share with the audience,
Thank you so much, Meenal, for having me live with you. It's an immense pleasure. Hi everyone. I'm Mind Coach Swati, famously known as Mind Coach Swati. I'm a woman career growth coach, and I'm on a mission to help millions of women scale up the ladder, particularly at top leadership positions in organizations. And you know, Meenal, why I have this aim or mission is because I've been into the leadership space myself. I've been into the corporate industry for more than 24 years now, rather. And I've seen that, you know, there's a lot of struggle women have growing up to a particular level. Manager, senior manager, you know, people grow up to that level.
yes.
But above that, we have a very, very skewed population in our country, particularly if I talk about. So that is why I want to empower maximum women and, you know, kind of help them grow with the right skill set, with the right abilities. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. And you said it absolutely right, because my first question would be regarding that why in India there are only 17.1% women, those who are at leadership position. And as you know, and as my tribe know, that I was also in the leadership position for so long. But it's so difficult for a woman to think and come out from our comfort zone. And usually I have recently shared a reel on that also, that blaming, complaining and excuses, yes, we have a lot of them, but how can we stay focused, and how can we think about our career? So my first question to you, Swati, is this only, that why in India we have only 17.1% women at leadership positions? So what's your opinion about it, or what's your
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right,
this?
Meenal. 17.1%. I think that's the updated number. I keep, looking at the charts as well. There are many, many factors, but I would like to, talk about things which are in our control. Obviously, societal factors, things which are there since prevalent for years. We'll not talk about that. How do we overcome that is what I will talk about. So I think first, women
Absolutely.
are themselves not believing that they deserve that position. I feel that, I've seen that. You have to be coaxed to actually believe, oh yeah, is this level even right for me? So believing in yourself, kind of upgrading yourself. The second thing I would say is we don't invest our time and energy in upgrading ourselves or educating ourselves. This is something which I've also learned the hard way, because when we feel that, school education, we've done our MBA, we've done our college degrees, it's good enough. But today's world, I think self-sustenance, for that you really need to keep yourself updated and upgraded. Is that the word? We don't really believe in that. A lot of women still don't believe in that. I think these two major elements, that believing in yourself, in your competencies, and also looking at upgrading yourself regularly to be relevant in the industry. That is very, very important, I feel.
Yes, yes, you're absolutely right. And I totally agree with you that these two factors are really important. And those who have joined right now, welcome to our live. And we are sharing our thoughts on leadership lesson for women. It's very important because, as Swati said, that yes, there can be a number of factors, right, that why women are not thinking, but they need to believe in themselves. And when we say believing in themselves, means they need to find out their strengths, right? And number two, you have to take that ownership and responsibility for your own life. So this will definitely help you in scaling your career or coming to the leadership. So amazing, Swati. That was amazing. The number two question which I want to ask you, that what, like, already you are in at the leadership position for almost 24 years. So what leadership lessons guide your actions while interacting with your
I think
team?
that's a very interesting question. I think the primary thing I would say, what guides me in my leadership style is empathy. Right. I think that comes naturally in women, but again, that is taken as a soft spot for a lot of people. Right. A lot of people feel that women are soft and they're going to be, kind of, people can take advantage or things like that. But I think I have worked on empathy as my cue card or my strongest element. Right. And I've seen that, and I've actually helped people inculcate that behavior, because in today's world, and particularly the robotics and the AI world, people need a human touch, a human connection. So if a leader is more empathetic,
Yes.
more caring, more supportive, you feel that that leader is on my side. He's not on the other side of the table, he's on my side. And that is one element which has made me, and I keep saying that, I'm not a leader, I'm an influencer. Which means what? I am using my influencing skills one notch above to actually get work done and also empower people. So when you actually get into, and empathy has really helped me a lot. I think that would be my biggest strength, I would say. If that goes away, I think that will not really be a good leader, because then you're just working on the robotics. The other thing I would say that has helped me is good decision making. I'm sure that, we do make decisions, and we all have to make decisions, from what to eat in the morning to what to wear is all decision making. But a lot of leaders I've seen, they don't make decisions, or they avoid decisions because they feel scared that, if I
Yes.
take a wrong decision, they just leave it. They just say that, okay, let it go with the flow. The management will take the decision, or the team will take the decision. Yeah, jo hoga, we'll see. But I have been a self-starter all my life. So I have been, whether it is going against all odds or whatever it is, but the decisions that I've made have been really impromptu. And whether or not, I'm not saying they're all been successful, but whether or not, it's making me learn. Every day, with every decision that I take, it has made me learn. Every mistake has made me learn. So that makes me grow as a leader, and, kind of empowers my team as well. That, they are also looking at, okay, yes, we need to take that decision right now, not kind of linger it on for a long time. So I think those two things, I would say, really has been my key strength: empathy and decision making as a leader.
So if you all really love these answers, or if you loved her perspective, please share heart in the comment section for her, because that's so beautifully explained. It's so true.
Yeah.
Empathy is power, and people feel that it's not the power, it's the weakness. You should not be empathetic towards others, and even if you're empathetic from the core, don't try to show it. But I loved it, Swati, how beautifully you said that you have used it as your cue factor or cue card, right? That's amazing. So, Swati, for you, what is leadership? When we are talking so much about leadership, what do you think is leadership? Because I personally feel like I especially
Mm-hmm.
focus on the women, ambitious women. So when I talk about ambitious women,
Yeah,
she can be a
absolutely.
homemaker also and a working lady. So people have this, and women have this perspective in the mind that leadership is something they are born only as the leaders and then they reach. So I really want them to understand through this life that anyone can be the leader, and a homemaker is also a leader. So what is your definition
Very
about
beautifully
leadership,
said,
Swati?
Minal, that leadership is a skill which can be inculcated like any other skill. It's not like you are inherited or born with it. Yes, some people have that extra spark, some people are go getters, but that is only
Hmm.
going to give them an advantage. But if you don't practice that skill, like any other skill, like, I'll give an example. I learned driving 20 years back. I am a pro driver right now because I've been practicing driving every single day, right? But and on the contrary, my sister who had learned driving alongside with me only, today if I sit with her, she doesn't know how to drive. Not because she's not good at it, but she's in practice driving. She had a driver all her life. So all I'm trying to say is, like any other skill, leadership is a skill which can be understood, which can be gathered, which can be procured, and you need to practice it every single day in your life. And rightly, very beautifully, like what Meenal said, leadership is not only for women or men who are leading a team. You can be a homemaker and be a good leader. You can be a student and be a good leader. You can be a retired professional and be a good leader. Leader means that you need to have that go-getter attitude. You need to be anything that comes your way. If you're in a group, for example, if you're in a group talking and you're brainstorming, etc., you are the one who's standing out and invigilating the entire discussion, kind of coordinating the entire discussion. You're the one who's going to okay, let's talk about this, let's give more ideas. You're the one who's going to do more. So if you are that kind of a person, that is what leadership is all about. Being a go-getter, not being at the back foot, but heading everything from the front. That is what a leader is
Yes.
all about. हाँ अच्छा हुआ तो भी हम ठीक है. If you're good, doing good, wonderful, it's the team effort. If you're doing wrong also, and I've seen leaders, when something goes wrong, they'll blame nicely with the team. Oh my god, the team is the team has been a failure.
Yes.
But that's a good leader is someone who will say, okay, it's okay if we did wrong, no problem, we learn from it, we'll do it better next time, and it's my fault, I take the onus. That kind of a leader people will really look up to, because you're being honest. Leadership is about, it is not about putting on a mask. It's about being your own self. That is what I think leadership is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And where you know who you are. And basically, to be very honest, I believe that we all are leaders. We just need to polish that skill. And for me, leadership is creating more and more leaders,
Absolutely.
owners down the line. So where
Yeah.
it is that not one man show, it has to be, and there's a very thin line difference
Absolutely.
between a boss and the leader, right? So to be very honest, Swati, it took me time to understand, because I was always in, if you see in any organization, I was always on the
Mm-hmm.
top three positions. So uh, when I started my career, I started in early 22, when I was 22, 23. So that attitude and arrogance I was having related to, like a boss, whatever I will say, it will has to be there. It should be heard by everyone. And it's my decision. Slowly and gradually, I understood that how empathy and compassion helped me in
Right.
bringing the voice of my team. And every team member started understanding that, no, I'm also
Absolutely.
the leader, I am heard. So this took me time, but why I wanted right now to discuss with you, so that every woman sitting at home or any leadership position, she should understand that it is about being heard, and you have to hear your team member. You have to give them that ownership and responsibility. And what you said, absolutely right. It has nothing to do with right and wrong, failure and success. It is about
Mera
taking
hai.
that responsibility. Jo hua wo mera hai. And why I laughed, because I have seen this. People immediately say, as at the leadership position, "Arey, mere wajah se nahi hua. It is because of X, Y, Z." So that's not the right attitude. So I
Resonate.
loved it, because we
Yeah.
both can resonate. How, yeah, and it's always a journey. So why I'm telling everyone so openly, I'm sharing from my heart, because it took me time to come from that arrogance to empathy. Sympathy तो रहता है, पर empathy में आना बहुत important है. Okay, to listen to every member of your team. And when the day I left Swati,
Yeah.
my job, you know that I recently resigned it. And that day I realized that, yes, now
Mm.
today when I'm moving out, how my team
Mm.
is showering that
Mm.
love, that support, that blessing. So in case agar मैं
Yeah.
boss hoti, तो they all would be very happy. चलो गई.
Absolutely. They are not happy because you're not the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, so this really helped me, and I want everyone to be ready with your questions, so that you can have more clear perspective, or you can change
Mm.
this lens or the filter in your mind how to see the leadership. So Swati, the next question to you is that how women can start her journey from a housewife to become a leader. Of course she is a leader, but she needs
Mm.
to
Absolutely.
see herself from that perspective.
So
So
I
just
think,
go ahead with it.
being a housewife also, like rightly you said, you can be a leader because you're the in charge of the house, right? You're taking care of the finances. I think to start with, I have seen a lot of women, a lot of my friends also, when they talk to me and they say, I am just the homemaker. I just take care of children. I just make the food and things like that. I feel, and I tell them, and I feel a little this thing because, you need to be in charge of your life, in charge of the finances. You need to understand what's happening in the house as well to start with. If you don't want to go out and work, completely your perspective. I'm not the one who's pushing anyone. I mean, people are comfortable being at home taking care of children. They feel that's the prime responsibility. Wonderful. But again, decision making in the household should be a dual responsibility. If you leave all the decisions to the man of the house or to the bread earner of the house, you're just the executioner, you're just the laborer in the house. I mean, I'm sorry to use that word, but if you really want to step up and become the leader, then you need to be equilibrium. You have to maintain that equilibrium with your spouse and say that, hey, I need to know what are the decisions of the house. Let's make it together. Let's brainstorm. I also have ideas. I also am a good well-wisher of the family. I may have better ideas. Like, just let's talk about it. Let's not just execute someone's idea, chahe wo koi bhi ho, spouse or in-laws or whatever it is. The other is understand the finances. That's the good way to start out. Understand the finances, what kind of income you're getting in the house, what are your savings, what are your expenses. When you are aware of that, you're going to be, and like what they say, the woman of the house, if she's educated, the entire generation is educated. I mean, if a mother knows how to manage finances, how to take care of the monetary matters, trust me, the children are going to be much more empowered. If the mother is involved in decision making, children are going to learn that. So if you need to be a leader. You have to walk the talk. If you are telling your children to take care of finances, if you're a lousy finance manager, children will follow the same thing. If you're telling your children, "Arey beta, decision lo, aap decision nahi le rahe ho," but if the mother is not doing that, if the mother is a docile, submissive person who's listening to all the what is happening in the house. So I think the first step for a woman, a homemaker, to kind of step up and become a leader is take charge of the decisions of the house, of the finances of the house, of knowing just whatever is happening. You're not just one executioner. You're going to be the key member of, or the epicenter of the family. Put everyone together. So I think that's my take on how you can elevate yourself to become a leader for homemakers.
Yes. Yeah, and basically, I feel for homemakers, the most important thing is to believe in themselves. They need to find out their strengths and use your strengths, then grow and learn. Automatically, that confidence will be there, because many a time it is that when you said that when female introduce
Yeah,
herself like that, I'm just a homemaker. This shows that
absolutely.
you are only putting yourself down. Correct? So this needs to be changed. So this is how women being a leader, she never sees
Mm-hmm.
herself as the leader of the family. And it's very important, like Swati, as of course, if we
Mm-hmm.
are working, still we are a homemaker. So I really, in my friend circle, when I meet every females and with my friends, I have observed that they take all the decisions while purchasing the clothes, jewelries, or their handbags and everything. But when it comes to finances, when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
important decisions of the family, they are one back foot. Why? Because they feel that they don't have understanding about the
Mm-hmm.
world, or they are not educated. Even if
Yeah.
I have seen engineers and MBA women, those who are housewife, or now they're the homemakers. I don't know where does this confidence
Mm-hmm.
settle down, or it is inside
Mm-hmm.
there, but it is just a layer of dust. So they need to work on it, and they need to find out their strengths. And trust me, darling, there are many strengths in you
Everything.
because you're managing
I
everything
just
in
would
your
like to
home.
add a point here as
Yeah,
well,
so you
Meenal, that
have to,
and this is again from.
yeah. Swati, just a minute. I want to tell Send 5569 that we would be taking your question, and thank you for that wonderful question.
Yeah.
But just let us finish our Q&As, and then I would be taking your questions. Okay. So thank you for having that
So that was
patience.
sensible.
Yes,
So
Swati, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out on this particular aspect, why, like what Meenal also said, that why you need to take charge of all of the finances, because I've seen in real life situations that, all your life, women have been, I mean, that's how the patriarchal society worked, right? Initially, I mean, and now also we see the homemaker is not aware of the finances, where the investments have been done, what kind of FDs or whatever, what are the future investments the person has made, your spouse has made. Now, given a situation, and we've seen that live, because I was into insurance for a long time, and I'm still into. So I've seen that, after any situation which mishappening which happens, for example, and I'm not kind of scaring people, but this is exactly what happens. In case there's an exigency which happens, the woman of the house is not aware of what are the investments, where are the savings kept, what is the business all about. She doesn't even know what business the husband is doing. And tomorrow it comes as a setback, because she's now supposed to step into the CEO's position and take care of everything. And she's like clueless. She's like clueless that, she doesn't know anything. So that is something which, why I say that, you need to be, you are a partner, you're equal, right? That's why they say partner. So you need to be equal.
Yeah.
You need to know everything, what's happening in the house, what kind of finances are happening, what investments are happening, what's the business all about. I'm not saying become naggy and try to dig into it, but you need to, kind of tell your partner as well that I need to know everything. I need to be aware of everything. That's what I just wanted to put that point across. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really important, because recently I've come across one incident that my colleague's closest friend, her husband, he met an accident, and on the spot
Yeah.
it's okay, it's okay. On the spot, he was dead. So she is educated, everything, but she is a homemaker. And Swati, she was knowing nothing about her husband's investments and everything. So I really feel that even if you're a homemaker, you should be the part of decision making about everything in your house. And this comes with that love, that leadership quality. And please listen to your own inner voice, what it's trying to say. That's very important. So what makes a woman a great
What
leader,
makes a
Swati?
woman a great leader? By acknowledging, I think by acknowledging and being aware. First, I would say self-awareness is the key. A lot of times we are not aware of what are our strengths, like what you rightly said. Awareness about your strengths, your weaknesses, where do you need to improve, how can you improve. Awareness gives us a lot of power. The problem is we are always blinding ourselves. We just don't want to accept it. And that's the reason why we are like, we believe we are something. Like what they say, our perception about ourselves is something different. We don't want to accept that this is what it is. So being aware of your strengths will give you more power, because you can be in control of yourself. You'll start believing yourself more. Being aware of your weakness is also important, so that you can work upon them. You can really change that. Weakness can never be a weakness always. If you know that this is my weakness, I will work upon that. Like, for example, I've seen so many people, women are not technically savvy, like, working on Excel or presentations or some dashboards, etc. A lot of women face a lot of challenge. But the moment you become aware that, okay, this is where I need to work. I mean, I'll accept. For the longest time, I was also, when it comes to reporting and analytics and all, I was like, let me not do it. Let me get some team member to do it. But then I realized, no, I need to also be hands-on, because how will then I learn? How will then my team respect me if I don't know that, right? So I took that effort to, train myself and, get abreast on those particular topics or whatever, the technical skills. So biggest thing I would want to say is that self-awareness about your strength, weakness, opportunity areas, whatever, and then continuously learning, upgrading yourself, being relevant, like I again said, continuously learning. Yeah. It's okay. No one's perfect. No one can ever be perfect. But the fact that you have to become a better version of yourself, physically, financially, emotionally, intellectually, everything. You have to just say that, okay, what I was yesterday, today when I look at myself in the mirror, am I 1% better than yesterday? Am I 10% better than yesterday? I just have to, I like what you started in the beginning saying comparing, blaming, etc. One of the reasons why we compare is because we look at others and we compare. We don't look at ourselves in the mirror. So when you want to compare, I always say that to all my friends and myself as well. Do not compare yourself with others. You have a life, you're the best, you're the unique version. God has made you as a unique person, right? So you have to look at yourself and compare. If you have to compare apple ko apple ke sath hi compare kar sakte, orange ke sath nahi kar sakte. What you're doing is, when you're comparing yourself with someone else, that person is of a different breed altogether. So better is, you want to measure a scale of comparison, saying what I was yesterday, what I am today. Have I bettered? That is going to be a good measurement and good analysis for you. So that's how you improve and that's how you develop yourself.
Yes, yes, absolutely right. And it's really important for everyone to understand who you are actually. And that is what is self-awareness. Okay. And I always say that throughout the life, we never understand this, that hum hai kaun. We always try to understand ourselves with our ego identity, and we need to go deeper to understand. So if you don't know something, it's fine, but just go and learn. That acceptance is very important. And what you said, nobody's perfect. So ye perfect ka bhoot bhi thoda hatana zaruri hai. And women we have, because we are conditioned, and especially the education system has done a wonderful job of first, second, third. She's best than others. So this is what our programming was done since childhood. So still when we grow up, and why I'm sharing with you this, Swati, because being into education industry, I have seen when parents come to me, they always say, finally, you just tell me where my child is standing. Being an IB board, we don't go for grade, like we only go for gradings and rubrics, but still parents have this habit of asking. So I really helped them to understand that if I compare you with someone else's parent, how will you feel? If your husband compares you with someone else's wife, or if your wife compares you with someone else's husband, what will be your thought process? So it's about you. That, as you said, everything in this universe is unique. So like you said about the apple or mango, similarly, it's about the flowers. So I always give an example that if there is examination in a jungle, a lion, tiger, monkey, fish, and you take any other animal, hippo, they are sitting, and the question paper is that everyone has to climb the tree. So no matter how hard they try, other than monkey, everyone will fail. Okay. And the next scene is that elephant baby is just telling his papa that, Papa, don't worry. In my life, once I will prove you after climbing this tree, and which is next to impossible. So we all need to take this as a pledge that we need to change the system. Every child is born a unique. Every child is best. And when we talk about the women, since childhood we are conditioned that we have to get married, we have to be a good woman, a good wife, good daughter-in-law, good mother. But this good needs to be changed. If you're not good to yourself, all other roles will never work. So this is what I believe. And why I'm telling you this, because working with women in one-on-one coaching, Swati, I can tell you, like, I cannot share how much I have to work on their confidence, to tell them again and again. They come up with this, मुझे दुनिया को दिखाना है, मुझे दुनिया को prove करके दिखाना है. We don't have to prove to other people. It is because of us. So how I was last year, or how I was 1 month back, I have to work on that. So really beautifully explained, Swati, and why I shared my thoughts, because I have felt that everyone is just running the rat race, that I want to be the best. We are best. Absolutely. You have to understand this. We are best. So there is no beautifully said. So amazing answers. Yeah, amazing answers, Swati. And I welcome everyone, those who have joined right now. And let's see, be ready with your questions. And hello, Navnitisha, Jyoti ji, Shadow, Start, Smart, Shambhu, um, and well, I think she had some network issue. Yes, it's a race, and let Swati join back again. Maybe there might be some technical issues. So let's wait. And how you are finding this live about leadership lessons for women. So I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to share with each one of you after this session. I really want you to sit and reflect. Whatever
Hey,
takeaways you are taking
sorry.
from
There
this.
was
So,
some
so
network
welcome
issue I
back,
had.
Swati.
Okay.
It's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. So, Swati, my last question to you is,
Yes,
and I hope you're ready with the
yes, sure.
questions. So, what are the challenges faced by the women leaders, and not in India,
Challenges faced
throughout the
by women
world?
leaders. Challenges
Hello,
faced by
Sapna.
women leaders,
Yeah.
multiple. I think the first challenge is gender inequality. First foremost, right? I mean, I have seen, and I'm sure you'll agree with that. You just mentioned about a few minutes back only that very skewed population. I've been in situations where in a boardroom filled up with 30 men, I'm the only single woman. So I think that's like, because it's people feel it's a matter of pride, but let me tell you, it's not, because having people from your own gender gives a little comfort as well. You have particular thought process. Sometimes you're yourself very shy, or not shy, but you're very jittery in the mind that, what if I say something, how will they react? And that's a second point. Males do not like instructions or suggestions to be taken from women, so there have been multiple times where I have been into arguments or conflicts, not conflicts, but kind of arguments for no reason, just because the ego has clashed. How can she be so opinionated? So leaders, women
Yes.
leaders, I would want to say this to everyone, that having your opinion is important for every single human being, and we are in a free country, we are in a democratic country where you have the freedom to have your opinions, have a freedom to speech as well. So never think that if you say something, someone will retaliate or someone will feel bad about it. I have been vocal about my thoughts, opinions, especially at workplace, everywhere. And that's one of the things which has really helped me grow up the ladder. Initially, there has been barriers, but that's something which I can say that right now for everyone, that be vocal. Lot of other challenges as well. Sexual harassment as well is a challenge for women, and at all levels. Let me tell you, at all levels. It's not like
Yes.
you're the VP of a company, so you can't be. And we don't understand. A lot of times, we don't even understand that sexual harassment, what it is all about. Now that I'm a posh certified trainer, I know that. I was also not aware of it. Like, someone passing a nasty comment, I didn't know it's considered as posh.
Yes.
Someone just taunting
Absolutely.
you on your clothes, I
Absolutely.
didn't know it's posh. Staring you,
Even
yeah.
staring you, even looking with you with a
Yes.
different eye
So
gesture.
handshake, anything,
So
yeah.
this takes
Yeah.
a time
So a lot
to
of times,
understand.
that's like we ignore all of that because we don't know about it. And we need to understand first, again, like I said, we need to understand what comes under the boundary of sexual harassment. And if you ever face that, please be very explicitly, tell that person that, hey, I don't like this. I don't respect this, because we are equal in nature. You can't just treat me like that because I'm a woman, right? So those kind of things I face in leadership levels in Europe.
Misha is writing, Swati happens every day.
Yeah.
So I hope, my darling, you would be taking a lot from this session, and from tomorrow you will be very
Very, very
particular and
important,
very
Nimisha. And
firm.
that's happening. That's really a serious matter. Please, my first thing is, please be vocal to that particular person in question, whoever is doing that to you. They need to be put in place. If they don't understand in your first, if you've had a conversation, they still continue to do that, I'm sure your company would have a posh committee or an HR committee or something. Please reach out to them. There are strict policies against posh. Yeah, there are termination
Yes.
policies as well.
And if there are no policies,
Yes,
make sure that
absolutely.
policies
If
are
your
at
company
place.
does not have that policy, please make sure that they introduce that policy, because it's not allowed. It's not supposed to be done. Just because you are a woman, you can't take everything on face. I mean, you can't just take everything and just go ahead with it. You can't do that. You are working. You got that job because of your knowledge and intellect, not because you're a woman. I think that's also sometimes people have to understand. That's a very common and a very I
Yes.
would say immature comment people make. I mean, I was told on my face that you came up, you got the promotion because you're a woman. You know, I was like, hello, mera kaam kaha gaya? My numbers talk for myself, right? I have numbers to prove. Luckily, I have that, but I'm sure a lot of women hear this comment every single day, and that's pathetic. I pity that entire genre of people who really believe that. Please value people for their
Yes.
work, whether it's male or female. People get promoted because of their work, because of their knowledge, because of their intellect, because of their experience, and not because of gender. Anyone who makes a comment like this, I feel sorry for such people. So yeah, I think a lot of challenges
Yes.
at leadership level for women, but that doesn't stop you. I would say, take on challenges. If that is challenge, take it on head on and prove the world, prove to yourself that, I'm capable and I want to go ahead. Don't just, a lot of times I'm saying that, Meenal, because, people get scared I was just taking a session today, and I asked the same question. What are the challenges that women have to face? Because when they get promoted, some people said that, they have to travel a lot, or they have to work extra hours. This is women telling me. So I'm just telling to all women, guys, it's not in a rule book that if you get promoted, you have to work extra hours, or you have to travel more, or you can't, you have to compromise on things. No, it's all your perspective about things. If you know the job, if you can do the job, finish off the job in 9 hours, 8 hours, be it, go home, enjoy your life. And that's exactly what
Yes.
life balance is, right? But because of that thing, don't be fearful that, I don't want to get promoted because I want to not compromise on my family life. Yeah, yeah,
Being in a comfort zone. And that's the reason only
exactly.
why there are 17.1%. And what you said, it's absolutely right. Because as I'm working and I have seen that whenever there is any vacancy or for any promotional event, women
Yeah.
don't want to come out from their comfort zone. I'm very comfortable for 6 hours and
Hmm.
this much
Hmm.
raise I'm getting it. It's fine. No, you should know your worth and you should be ready to bring out your voice for that. That's very important. And Swati, all your points you have almost covered, but one point which I personally want to share, because it's been 20 years journey, and when she says about sexual harassment, you have to
Yeah.
trust your gut feeling or instinct. Okay. Number two, which I believe, and I have it really worked out for me, was working on my energy. When you work on your aura and when you work on your energy, nobody damn can come closer to you and speak to you or see you or talk to you. It's very important for a woman to daily work on her energy. And when I mean to say on her
Hmm.
energy, what are her thoughts? What are our
Hmm.
intentions before taking that positions? That's very important. Okay. Nobody can comment on you
Yeah.
anything if you are in your power. So you should know why you want to be CEO. You should know why you want to be the VP. You should know why you want to be at the topmost position in your
Hmm.
organizational chart. Because if you're just simply there for money, if you're just simply to show your co-workers
Hmm.
that I can reach there, then
Yeah.
your energies will definitely be at the lower frequency. But when you own your aura, when you know कि नहीं मैं अपने लिए हूँ और मैं बहुत सारी
Hmm.
फीमेल्स के लिए एस्पायर
Hmm.
पोजीशन
Hmm.
पे जा रही हूँ सो दैट दे सी मी
Yeah.
and then why I'm telling you, because this is what I feel in my 20 years of journey, that by the grace of God, by the grace of Almighty, I never faced it because I always believed why I'm doing this. And when you're
Hmm.
very clear in your intentions,
Yeah.
trust me, people feel
Sure.
you that she's only here for work. She's not going to talk anything rubbish. She's not going to
Hmm.
take anything shit
Hmm.
on her. वो अच्छे से line पे लगा
Correct.
देगी. Right,
Yeah.
Swati?
Absolutely.
That's
Very
very
well said.
important. Right? So you should know
Very,
how
very
to be
well
in your
said.
aura.
So
So
this
that's
this
what,
this brings me to
yeah,
my to a
that's,
question for you, Meenal, if that is okay with. Yeah. So because you spoke about
yes,
energy
yes.
and because you spoke about aura things, how does one work on that? Because for example, I talk about myself as a leader. Like I said, empathy is my biggest trait, but when people look at it, oh, she's a bubbly, chirpy person, full of life and things like that. And how does one work on that energy of exhibiting that, okay, I'm at a high frequency energy and I'm like a no nonsense person. How does one work on that?
Yeah. Absolutely, I'm going to answer this. And before that, I just want everyone to go and read
Mhm.
about Dr. Hawkins' map of consciousness, where you will see what kind of emotions are below 50 and what kind of emotions are above 150. So, as a woman, even if you are at the leadership position and whole day you're feeling frustrated, whole day you're in anger, then you are only in 20 to 30 frequencies. Now, when I say you have to work on your aura, every morning I set my intentions for the day. This is how you can work on your energy. If I'm stepping out from my home, I should be very clear what kind of emotions I am going to feel throughout the day. So, Swati, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I tell everyone, I light the lamp. It is just in front of my bed to feel that, thank you, God, I have one more day. Okay. Number two thing, before coming out of the bed only, I set my mind very clearly that today I will be soft spoken. Today I will be more empathetic. Today I will be more kind. Whatever you feel. Okay. Because everyone has different workplace. So you should be very clear. And third thing, which is very important, you call it meditation, or if you do the breath work, or if you sit in the silence. I do it for 10 to 15 minutes daily. Without that, I never leave my home. And then exercise. For people listening this, it can be very simple steps. But you have to take simple steps to work on your energy. Because when you set your intentions, when you set your thoughts process, when you set that today I have to feel this way, and when you move out, trust me, you will attract such people only in your life. But when you leave from the home with the feeling of jealous, anger, frustration, or maybe a lot of money, mind, lust, anything, any emotion, then you will attract such people in your life. So you have to be very mindful. And Swati, first I want send 5569 is asking, Swati, kindly also suggest on effective time management. So he has two questions to ask. So we would be taking just 10 minutes more, and then we would be answering. And thank you so much for your patience, because
we'll be
he is
answering
waiting
those
since long.
questions. Sorry, guys. We'll
So
just finish off the session, and we'll definitely take all your questions. So please keep writing your questions. We'll definitely take on all of your questions. I think my art also has a question on breath exercises. We will.
How
So we'll take that up. Please stay put right till the end. We'll take that up as well. Wonderfully explained, Meenal, about your energy and how you kind of bring your energy early in the morning. I think I completely agree with you. Small things, small steps in the right way really give long results. And consistency, I think, is the key. I've been following that myself. Different ways, different people do. I mean, you do breath exercises. I do physical exercise. I go to the gym every day. That for me is meditation. You write your so goal writing. I write my goals every single day. I write my gratitude every single day. So that's basically, how you're kind of bringing your aura into place. And it's very, very important so that you have your energy fixed. Otherwise, if you go out, and I completely agree with you, if you go out in the world with not sure energy, what will happen is people's energy, you'll suck up into you, and then you'll try to follow exactly what everyone is doing. And just like they say, running like a headless chicken, not knowing what you want to do. So that's not the right way. If you set your energy or your intention straight first thing in the morning, your day is going to be as you planned and not like others, not for everyone else.
Yes. And your internal world is 90% and external outer world is 10%. So if you're internally absolutely clear about your intentions, no one can stop.
Another question that I have for you, Meenal, is that because you're a self-love and life purpose coach, I think I still feel that a lot of people do not understand, specifically women, do not understand the concept of self-love. A lot of times when I talk about with my coaches as well about self-love, they feel that it's about, it's being selfish. How can I do that? I need to have time for my children, for my family. मुझे मेरे पे लिए time नहीं है. I mean, I don't have time for myself. So what would you want to say? Because you're a self-love coach, I want to hear from you, from your perspective. How does one work on that?
Yeah, of course, yes. This is what I am here to help the women to understand difference between selfish and self-love. And it's really a myth. Everyone feels that when we think for ourselves, we are doing injustice to our family, and especially to the children and spouse. So one thing I want to tell, and beautifully explained by Oprah Winfrey, she says, when your cup is empty, when you don't love yourself, when you are emotionally not strong, when you're emotionally not balanced, when you're not financially strong or capable of helping others, how you will pour that in others' cup when you are only empty? So this you have to understand. Selfish is something, I'm going to just simply give you one example. If you have one chapati, okay, it's a very random example. I find it because being a mother, I know mama is, you all eat and bacha kucha hai to bhi I am fine. No, if you have one chapati and if somebody is hungry, I mean to say, if you give them half chapati and if you eat half, it's fine because you both are. But if you are damn hungry and if you only have one chapati, I request you to eat that chapati, bring some energy in your body, get up, cook, and then give to other family members. Okay? Because if you are in low energy, if you don't have the strength in your body, you cannot help others. And I know for many of you this would sound really something different, and you must be thinking that Meenal kya bol rahi hai, hamare culture mein to sikhaya hai, first we have to serve others, everyone should be given like I don't know, in many culture I have seen that they want chapati, kya bolte hain, chapati
Garam garam, हाँ.
gas se utar ke hi garam garam something, yeah. So I completely understand. That's the love of the women. But remember, you have to take care of yourself. Otherwise, when you are 50, 60, or 70, you will stand nowhere in your life looking into the mirror, and you are treating yourself like secondary in your own life. So self-love is treating yourself as first in your life. That's it. And first means taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health, taking care of your emotional health. You should know how to say no to the drainers, energy drainers. So bringing out women from this belief system to become good in others' book, to understand what is, and for me, I have always shared self-love into three categories. Number one is self-love is knowing who you are. Once you know who you are, number two is self-acceptance, accepting yourself as a whole with your negatives and positives. And finally, when you know your negatives and positive, here comes self-growth. Right? So here starts your journey. So these three components for me is about self-love. You cannot miss and understand that who you are, and without that only you feel I will love myself. तो पहले अपने आप को complete कर लो. If you see sun, if you see stars, if you see, yes, on this planet we all are givers, but they are full. So that's why they are overflowing. Right? So you have to be first full, let your energies overflow, and then give to everyone. And that is something, a different feeling. So you have to understand that you have to make yourself the first priority. Okay? So I hope that chapati example will make it very clear. So you eat first and then help others. ऐसे भूखे रह के दूसरों को खाना खिला के, trust me, you will land up nothing.
Yeah, it's like the same example that when you're on the airplane, they teach you, they train you that if they in case of an exigency, you put on the life mask first. Only if you are safe will you be able to save others. Simple. It's very, very simple. If you, and rightly I agree with you and I completely follow that principle, you cannot pour out of an empty cup. If your cup is full, if you're happy, if you're content, and I've seen that in my own life, Meenal. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. For the longest time, I'm not saying I'm not a giver now, but for the longest time, I was a people pleaser. I'll be doing everything for my family, everything for my friends, everything for everyone, and not take care of myself. And you know what? After a particular time, I used to feel that, why am I doing all this? I'm getting drained out. I'm getting so emotionally sucked up, and then and that time no one's there with me and I'm like cribbing, मैंने इतना उसके लिए किया था, he was not there with me, मैंने इतना अपने बच्चों के लिए किया, where are they for me, and so on and so forth.
Swati, here I want to just say, add one, when she beautifully said that मैंने सबके लिए इतना किया, so I want to say millions of people, women came on the planet and they left also. Nobody knows them. Correct? So I'm not saying that don't do for your children, don't do it for your husband, but this expectation should be kept ahead. And as she said, when you become full, you become more giver. You give more. That's core as a human and as a woman in us. So yes, please start working on yourself. Physically, psychologically, mentally, financially, इतने strong हो जाओ कि सबको फिर दे
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said. My art, thousands says stop liking people's Facebook posts if they don't reciprocate. Well, that's not what we're trying to say. That's not what we're trying to say. We're just saying that, be a giver. That's a natural quality of every woman to become a giver, to be a giver. That's how we are being made, right? God has made us with conditions like that. But Don't forget yourself. Don't neglect yourself. The day when you take care of yourself, trust me, the world will change. You'll see a different you altogether. You will attract more positivity in your life. If you are focusing on your own happiness, if you're focusing on your own positivity, there are, like what the law of attraction says, whatever you give out in the universe, you'll get more of it. If you give out positivity, you'll get more of it. So it's just about that. It's not about उसने इतना किया तो हम ऐसा करेंगे नहीं. It's not about reciprocating. Just focus on yourself first. And that's why we say don't blame, don't crib, don't cry, because when you do all of those things, your focus is going where? Them. Your focus is going on that person, on what he or she is doing or not doing. Focus on yourself. What can I do in this situation? What is in my control? Always look at yourself first and then look at, otherwise.
My aunt thousand say, otherwise people take you granted. My dear, for that you need to learn how to set boundaries, right? Nobody can take you granted. It's not possible. You have to learn to say no, and that too with very kindness and firmness. So, and trust me, it's always about giving. अगर sun ने ऐसा बोलना शुरू कर दिया ना कि आप लोग मुझे कुछ नहीं देते हो, मुझे आप लोगों को sunrays नहीं देनी है, तो within 18 hours ये planet ही नहीं रहेगा. So it's it's very important to give, but you have to learn this. And what Swati asked me, this is what I struggle with women to bring out them from this belief, to bring a new neuron path to make them understand how to do this stuff. Okay, so Swati, I think we should take the question.
We could have go on with this conversation. I'm sure we are loving that, but
an amazing audience. Absolutely. They all are so patiently listening to us. So I think Senthil's first question was he wants some tips from you regarding related
time management. Senthil, I can always say, I think time management is a very, very vast thing, but very simple tips I would give you. First and foremost, like I say, have a scheduler. Just what Meenal also said. And the first thing in the morning, that what I do is I have my diary. I mean, I still believe in writing and not use the gadgets, because I feel like, that gives me more in control. So first thing in the morning, pick up your diary and write down your to-do list. Very, very important. Whatever you want. And to-do list also has to be with the timelines, with the timings. Okay, from 10 to 11, I'll be doing this, from 11, whatever. So when you do that, you're in control with your time wasters are gone. Okay, that means also you're setting boundaries. What we just spoke about, saying no. When you have your scheduler, automatically you know that you have this much time in the day. The rest of the stuff you can't take on. Like we generally take on more and more in our plate only when you don't know your time schedule. So manage your time, write down a scheduler. The other thing that I would want to say is prioritize. Now, a lot of times, we have this Eisenhower's matrix. It's a very interesting matrix. If you want to go check it out, I think I do that in my time management sessions as well. It talks about urgent and important, urgent and not important, important but not urgent, and not important, not urgent. So in that matrix, it's very simple that urgent and important, you have to do it immediately. You schedule it and do it immediately. Urgent and important, my boss wants that report today only, I have to do it today only. Urgent but not important, you can schedule it for later. That's scheduling. Like you can maybe do it after 2 days or whatever. Schedule it as per your calendar. Not important but urgent, you can again delegate it. Probably you can ask someone else to do it for you, maybe your team members or someone else. Maybe delegate responsibility as at home as well. And as a leader, delegation is a very, very critical skill that you should have. A lot of people don't understand that delegation will only help you become a better leader. And then the last one, which is not urgent, not important, please do not do that. Try ways to look at ways for automation, or look at ways for kind of just reading it out from the system. For example, I receive 1,200 mails every day. Now, not all the mails are marked to me, but if I sit down and read all those mails, I mean, not all the mails I'm supposed to action, right? I mean, they could be for my team members, they could be for some IT department, something. But if foolishly I'm sitting and reading 1,200 mails, I'll probably spend 4 hours only reading those mails. So I don't need to do that. I just need to read the mails which are marked to me and which I need to action. So these are the small things that you can do, prioritizing and following the matrix and to-do list. Very, very important to actually manage your time well. Senthil, and there are many more tips, but I think we'll go with these two for today.
Yeah, and Senthil, I just want to add one thing. When Swati is saying prioritizing your task, one most important thing is, as you have written, to become successful. Yeah. You should know your why. Why you're prioritizing things. So if you're clear with your purpose and your why, trust me, Senthil, no one can stop you. You will be doing great in your life. And best wishes to you. So Swati, my Art 1000
Yeah.
is asking, please share the breathing exercises.
You want to do that? You want to take that question? Yeah.
Yeah, I can, definitely. So my Art 1000, the best part for breathing exercise, you can go and you can check on internet. Lot many of them are given 369, 555, 478, lots of there. But just one thing you have to remember, my Art 1000, that you have to sit patiently. You have to bring all your sense organ to silence. You have to close your eyes and you have to just focus on your breath, how you're taking it and how you're releasing it. Because right now we all are breathing effortlessly. But when you focus on it, immediately every part of your brain gets the oxygen and it works properly for critical thinking. That is why breath work is very important. When we talk about breath work or meditation, of course, these are two things, but people feel that it's a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. It's simply to sit at the place patiently and focusing on your breath. Okay, it's about alom vilom. You must have heard it. You can go to any pranic healer and they can teach you lots of things. But personally, what I have felt, and of course, if you want to join my art, I'm coming from 1st March with a meditation club, Divine Connection. If you want, you can go ahead and you can join, where I would be explaining you in details about the breath work. But just remember, don't anything if you hear in your life, just don't try to think that it is very difficult, I don't know. Your body is a machine which you have to understand. It can be only controlled by, yes, of course, pranayam exercise is also a breath work. So your body is only controlled by this breath work. So you have to focus on it. Otherwise, if we don't focus throughout our day, our amygdala is hijacked. And when our amygdala is hijacked, our critical thinking and our problem solving never works. And then we never take good decisions. And then we say, I'm in stress and anxiety. So here everything starts. So morning 10 minutes, if you do the breath work or meditation, it's very simple. My art 1000. I want you to write your name, please. Okay, I like to call people with their names, so everybody's having different Insta. So once, please remember, सिर्फ ये सांस ही है जो सब कुछ है. उस पे फोकस करना शुरू कर दो, लाइफ में से सब कुछ हट जाएगा. Everything I'm telling you, because we are in the informative age, you don't need people for information. You just need people for the connection, love, and empathy. Right? So that will help you. And any other questions, Swati? Let me check. Senthil is saying thank you. So thank you. Lots of love and blessing to you, Swati. Any other questions?
I think I don't see any. So is this live for
Yeah, even
females
I
only? No,
can't
no, Varun,
see
it's for
that.
everyone. These are very, very generic questions and generic qualities that we're talking about. It can be for everyone. It's about success and growth for everyone. It's not particularly for females. Yes, definitely we were emphasizing a little more on females because that's our core niche, but it's absolutely for everyone. So you can ask your questions.
Thank you, Senthil. Karanak7 is asking how to be sure whether decision is right or wrong, how to take right decision. So Swati, I will just give one point here and then you continue. So Karan, I want to say this, on this planet, there is nothing right and wrong. If you take the decision and if you feel that it is going according to you, it's right. If you feel I planned and it is not working according to the way you planned it, then it is wrong for you. But my point to you is, please take decisions. Don't think about right and wrong. Okay, because right and wrong is through other people's perspective. For you, it will be always a lesson. Yeah. Okay, Karan?
I'll just add to it.
Swati,
Absolutely, very rightly said by Meenal. There's no right or wrong decision, but I'll just maybe share a quick tip with you what I do when I take decisions. Then generally they say when you take a decision, you're taking it out of a very panic situation, right? You're in that situation and you're taking a decision. Maybe decision of getting married or not. Maybe decision of taking that job or not. Maybe decision of traveling abroad, settling abroad. Whatever is your decision, but in situations of these, what's happening is your mind emotionally is involved in that decision, right? You're inside that situation, and trust me, when you're inside that situation emotionally, you're emotionally driven. You're not driven by cognitive ability. So to do that, what you need to do is zoom out. Yeah. And how do I zoom out? I just say that zoom out from that situation, think about this situation is not your problem, it's your friend's problem. क्या होता है ना, हम लोग friends को advice देने में number one है. We are the best when it comes to giving advice to our friends. So zoom out and think that, okay, today if I have a problem, I'll think it's Meenal's problem. Meenal has come to me for a situation and I'll say, okay, let me advise her. Let me give her a suggestion. What will she do? And look at 3 suggestions, not 1 or 2. Look at 3 suggestions. Okay, Meenal, why don't you do this? Why do this? And then on each suggestion, do a pro and a con. What will go right, what will go wrong. Then you have, like 6 line items in front of you. That's when you can put your ability and say, okay, which is the best one. So that's one quick tip I do. Do not ever take a decision when you're into that situation. Zoom out of it. Think about it as if you're giving an advice to your friend, and then give an advice. Trust me, it'll work for you.
Always keep yourself at the second position, right? And what she said, it's absolutely right. But I want to add one thing very important, that please practice breath work regularly, which will help you. And see, even if you see all the management gurus also, all the topmost CEOs, if you check their morning routine, 10 minutes they sit in silence, because throughout the day you have to take so many decisions being at that leadership position. So you have to be calm and content from inside. Okay, so do that. And after that, whatever exercise you will do, the probability is 80 to 85%, whatever you want will be the outcome. It's not about right and wrong. It is about what outcome you want from your decision. Correct? Wonderful. So that's very important. Don't think from other people's perspective. For example, if I'm starting a startup, for me, what are the outcomes? If I'm taking the actions according to them, then it's a right decision. If it is not happening, then it's a wrong decision. So finally, you have to again work on your inner self. As why I'm saying, because Swati also know, we both really work a lot on our inner self. So it will help you. Outside, if you read management books, you will get 10 to 15 techniques, but it will not work if you will not sit in silence.
Very
Go and see anyone, even Mark Jugger's book.
Very important. Absolutely.
Anyone. Yeah. So I hope, Swati, it was a wonderful session. Anyhow, we finished it. I thought we will finish it off in 40 to 45 minutes. But because of the wonderful audience, it is 7-1. It's a weekend. And I want you all, I know you all must be having plans to enjoy, but thank you for attending. And there are so many comments, and I loved it that you all loved this session. I want you all to take our pictures and share it on your stories with the 3 best takeaways, so that it can reach to more and more people and they can understand what is leadership about for a woman. Okay, so go ahead.
Just give you a good nice picture and tag us also, so that we are aware what you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, if you really loved it, please do tag us and share it with us. And maybe if you get some surprise gifts from us, if we loved it. So with that,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati, for coming to my.
And absolutely, I loved it. I had a very good time. Thank you so much.
And we would be definitely coming more and more to help our communities. Okay, because collaboration always helps.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your weekend. All the best.